moment that he said, I should box you in your mouth or whatever the fuck that was, it took everything in me to stay seated in that seat. Because you fuck with hood niggas, you'll never understand what it is to be a hood nigga. A real nigga from the hood would look forward to not respecting you because we ain't got no reason to respect you.
Oh man, so Tyrese is speaking on the Breakfast Club interview as of now it has over 500,000 views, where Envy said, man, I wanted to box your mouth after you said some things to my wife, but I let it slide. Tyrese is reflecting on how he had to control himself to, stay in his seat and all that good stuff, and a lot more things. So check out this footage of Tyrese speaking on the Breakfast Club interview.
Good morning. I just wanted y'all to put your eyes on me and I got a lot of people texting and calling and all in my comments and thinking about the obvious things, right? Man, I must be triggered. I must be annoyed. I got people like, check on Tyrese. Y'all go check on him. Because y'all know that was a very, very hard conversation to have. Some very big, some very disappointing reveals. And I'm gonna make a choice. I'm gonna make a choice that I wish both DJ Envy and Charlemagne had made for me for the last 5 years, as I've been going through too many things. I'm gonna make a choice to leave this shit alone. Yeah. Y'all know, when you born and raised in LA, when you born and raised in Watts in South Central LA, see, it's one thing to know hood niggas, it's another thing to be a hood nigga. And y'all know, real niggas know, the moment that he said, I should box you in your mouth or whatever the fuck that was, it took everything in me to stay seated in that seat. Charlemagne was clever because he knew that they've been going at me for 5 years, and I've responded only a few times publicly, but for the most part they knew that I was coming. And they knew that we was gonna have to have that conversation. So everybody that's speaking to the same thing that I've spoke to, you're this voice, you've got books, you're this champion, outspoken man that represents all things mental health. And yet, I've lost count of the amount of times that he's contributed to the stresses in and around my mental health. From being insensitive or just deciding to talk about a man that he actually knows. Never said he was my friend. Never said we were childhood homies. But like I mentioned to Envy, I feel like I know y'all enough to have some type of an expectation of you guys to just have a heart and just simply be able to say, man, I couldn't imagine what it would be like to come home to an empty house, no wife, and your child get taken from you while you're out of town. Just have a heart. Do your job. Talk your shit. I get it. But never lose sight of mental health and never lose sight of what it must, not what it feels like to go home to no wife, what it must feel. See, when you actually have empathy and you have a heart, you put yourself in other people's shoes. And you, as a man of integrity, you make the decision to not beat a man down with your words when you see that they're already down. You make that choice. And they've been through some shit, some real shit. And Envy is currently going through some real shit. But I've made the choice to not beat anybody down while they're down. Didn't plan on getting emotional on live. Y'all know I could use my words. Y'all know that I could make the choice to go at both of them, but I'm not gonna do it. The choice that I'm gonna make is to wish them well in their careers, their marriage, their family, everything. I want the best for them. I really do. I want to say thank you to Jess. I hope they add you to I hope they affect officially add you to the show. And I hope nobody attacks you or come at you, because you actually had the only heart in the room. So I'm in the middle of expressing my vulnerabilities and all this stuff that I've been carrying and festering from certain things that they've said and choices they've made and how they've went about being insensitive about my stuff. I appreciate Jess for just stepping in and wanting to keep the conversation going. Definitely didn't plan on getting emotional live, but it's all fresh. One thing y'all need to know is I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna get through this process. I'm gonna take this journey. But I'm gonna have to grow up. When you think of life, you're gonna have to start thinking of it as stock. And there's areas of stock in your life where the value is low. There's some areas that you really gotta grow in. Then there's those areas where the stock is really high. And for everybody who knows me, and for everybody who turned on me, never called, never checked on me, never came, never tried to pull up on me, never tried to come put their eyes on me and make sure I was good. I know one thing's for sure. As y'all have watched this Breakfast Club interview, y'all was happy as a motherfucker that I never called your name. Y'all was at home like, everything that I'm describing about Envy or Charlemagne, I could have easily mentioned you. You turned your back on me too, and I never turned on you. I went above and beyond for you too, and you never even simply checked on me. You were at home. Please don't let this nigga bring me up or bring me into the conversation. Don't worry about it. You're good. You know what you did, and you know what you didn't do, and you know what you should have did that you never did. And I wish you well too. The area in my life where the stock is low, I want to talk about the areas where the stock is high. The areas in my life where the stock is low is, for some reason, by now, I can't believe I still love and care and go above and beyond for people who get too familiar, figure out a way to disrespect me, start thinking and believing like, what you gonna do? Like almost arrogant with getting too familiar. No honor, no integrity. And I still find myself saying, you've given me every reason to say fuck you, cut you off, be done with you. But I'd much rather talk to you than talk about you and let you crash and burn and have whatever piece of a career that you're either trying to build, want to build, or have been attempting to build multiple times over the years. You can say a lot of things about me, but you can't say I'm not successful. And when you see self-sabotage and self-defeat happening right in front of you, and you go above and beyond to pour into that man or that woman, and you hold their hand and you try and mentor them and pour into them and be there for them, even if you're on the receiving end of their fuck shit, that's an area in my life where the stock is really low, because I'm supposed to not give a fuck about nobody but myself. But I just ain't been able to tap into my no fucks to give. I'm wearing this hat and I'm projecting. I'm gaslighting. Nothing about this hat is true. It's just the opposite. I give a fuck. I feel everything. I'm not perfect. I've pissed people off. I've irritated people. I've made people feel like the things that I've said and done has disrespected them. I've had people to tell me I've disrespected them. But the moment that I'm aware of something that I either said or did, even if I don't agree with something that you said, I said, or did, I apologize. Because the way I feel about whatever I said or did that made you feel like I said or did something that disrespects you, that's actually the way I made you feel. And one of the things that I've learned about apologize, you have to apologize by allowing someone to feel the way they feel. Don't flip it, don't manipulate it, don't gaslight it, don't disown their feelings. Or make them feel like you're disowning their feelings. However, I'm going to stay on my journey. Unfortunately, due to my fragile mental health state, I am not going to be able to finish, and I have not been able to finish my Beautiful Pain album. So it's not coming out this year. I just could not. I couldn't mentally and psychologically and emotionally push through it. I tried. I tried everything. I just couldn't do it. Let's hope that Beautiful Pain even sees the light of day. Let's hope. Right now, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Father God, I love you. Where would I be? God, I actually don't know why you love me the way you do. But I'm so grateful. While other people have had 5 minutes of fame, my career started with 30 seconds. And who would ever think, rather controversy, rather challenges while being in the business of music and movies, never having my mama to be Gladys Knight or Anita Baker or Patti LaBelle. Like, I'm not a singer that was raised by a singer who can come home and teach me and show me everything that I need to know about the music business before I got in it. So I've been bumping my head and making mistakes and trying to figure everything out in real time. And I can't even believe I still have a career. Self-sabotage and self-defeat. It is a demonic spirit that's passed down onto you from the neighborhood, your mama, your father, your family. It's a generational curse. Some of y'all have never even heard of it. Self-sabotage is when you find yourself, let me get off camera. Self-sabotage is when you find yourself wanting and praying and desiring for something, dreaming about something, waking up every single day, working so hard for something. And then when God actually answers your prayer and he says, this is what you prayed for, this is what you wanted, you're now living and experiencing. It's no longer a dream if you're experiencing your dream. It's no longer something that you're just praying for if you're experiencing the prayer. But something about that demonic spirit of self-sabotage and self-defeat will convince you that you don't deserve it. And you yourself will figure out a way to fuck it up. Fumble it. Burn it all down. And you'll do it to yourself. Yes, I wrote about it in my first book. I wrote about self-sabotage and self-defeat in my first book. And I wrote about the most life-changing breakthrough for me realizing that I, at the time, and I, at times, still could find myself self-sabotaging. It's a real thing. connection that I'm making to the low stock in my area that I want y'all to pray for. Because another version of self-sabotage is to keep looking out for niggas that you should never look out for. Another version and spirit of self-sabotage is when you dealing with niggas that make it obvious that they don't give a fuck about you, and you still go out of your way to give them love and show them love and go above and beyond to look out for niggas. You can call that being an empath. You can call that having a heart. You can call that trying to be more like Jesus. I believe in Jesus, but I am not Jesus. I'll slap fire at your ass and knock your head clean off your shoulders. I'm very capable of doing it. It takes so much more restraint to not fuck a nigga up on sight when you're very capable of doing it. Yeah. When you born and raised in Watts, in the hood, you're raised as a monster. You're raised as someone who lives this life right here. Got no fucks to give. That's what the hood will raise you to be. I tell people all the time, I may have a lot of teeth in my mouth. I may always have the biggest charm and charisma and personality in most rooms I go to. As a matter of fact, I have had people laughing in the Fast and the Furious for 20 years, even though Wikipedia refused to call me a comedian. We'll deal with that later. You funny, you do comedy, but you're not a comedian. And that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Don't worry about it. Talk about that later. What the hood has raised me to be, what the hood has taught me, the worldview that I got in and around real shit, real niggas, understanding what I understand. Has anybody ever realized that for me to be born and raised in the hood, I've never been extorted? Never had no gangster, no Crips, no Bloods to try and muscle me out of money. I live the way I live. I move the way I move. There is a spoken yet unspoken respect as a man that I speak. I mean, some of the most reckless niggas I could ever think of that I know, I grew up around, and even if they wasn't in my hood or from my block or my neighborhood and didn't know me personally, I know exactly who these niggas are, and they still live in the hood right now. They have the utmost respect for me because I've always had the utmost respect for them. Heavy Crippin', heavy blood, heavy Mexican, Latin gangs, and heavy. I thank God every day, as hard as it was. what I'm about to say, if you're not from the hood, because you fuck with hood niggas, you'll never understand what it is to be a hood nigga. What I'm about to say is some shit that only real niggas that was actually born and raised in the hood can say. Respect is not given, it's earned. A real nigga from the hood would look forward to not respecting you because we ain't got no reason to respect you. So everywhere I go, from D.C. to Philly, to Brooklyn, Queens, to Bronx, Compton, Watts, everywhere I go, there be niggas in clubs with guns, but they don't rob me. There be niggas out here that's completely reckless, but they don't come at me. They don't disrespect me. They don't cross me. Because when you from the hood, there's an unspoken respect. I thank God every day for everything that I learned. And I'm still learning about where I'm from. What the hood has taught me, I've been able to take these lessons, these hard, aggressive, dysfunctional, traumatic, hard lessons in the hood. And I've been able to use all that I know. And I can move anywhere. For that one little piece, I'm forever grateful.